everybody, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video today because I really haven't done one of these for a long time and I want to do another tutorial because they're my favorite videos to film, but I don't really want to call it a tutorial because I don't know how the look's going to turn out. I don't know what products I'm going to use, so I don't really feel like it's going to be like an actual tutorial on anything. I will be using though the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette, which I mentioned in my last haul video. I've just been totally obsessed with this palette. Like I said in that haul video, they should have just named this Kylie's palette because it's definitely colors that if I had to make an eyeshadow palette, this is exactly how I would have made it. So we're going to be using that. I pinned my hair back because I noticed in some of my videos my hair just gets crazy and all over the place, especially in my tutorials. I primed my eyelids too with the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer, and now we're going to move on to just the eye makeup. I got this new eyeshadow brush from Ecotools from Ulta the other day and I really have been liking it. Let's see, what color do I want to go in first? I think that I'm going to start by using the shade called Birthday Suit, which is on the bottom there. It's a really pretty, like, light taupey color. All these colors are sort of like taupey and cool toned and really gorgeous. I'm just going to take this all over my eyelid. I really love this shade because it's like somewhat close to my skin tone, I guess, but just a little bit darker. It's got a little bit of a shimmer running through it. That little bit of taupiness, I just think it really complements my skin tone and my brown eyes. But as you can tell, it doesn't really look like I'm wearing a whole lot of anything right now. I'm then going to take the shade called Sugar Walls, which is like a slightly darker version of that color. It has a little bit of sparkle in it, and I really don't want tons of glitter, so I'm going to try to tap off some of that. And then I'm just going to place this on the outer half. Next thing I'm going to do is go into the shade called Garterbelt, which is right next to Sugar Walls. It's just a basic matte gray shade. Really pretty. I love matte grays. This is just going to be popped through my crease. My boyfriend and I had an amazing 1-year anniversary the past, it was July 5th, so last Friday. We went out of town for a little while and just spent the day in this place called Red Lodge, which is in Montana. And it's just about an hour's drive from where we are. It's just a really cute little town. They had this bookstore that had like just tons of tea. It was really cool. You walked in there and there's just tons of books, and then they had a little cafe which they had just hundreds and hundreds of different types of tea. It was insane and it was just super cool, and they have an awesome bakery there. And it's so beautiful. It's just mountains and trees and this rock creek that runs through it, which is just gorgeous. I mean, the whole town is just so pretty. So we had a lot of fun, and he got me this palette, which I've just, like I said, I've been obsessed with. You really enjoy taupes and grays and sort of plummy shades, and if you like looks that are kind of smoky but still daytime appropriate, this is a perfect palette for you. I could not recommend anything better. It just has everything you need to sort of create that daytime smoky eye. Move on to the highlight. I'm using the shade called In the Buff, which is actually probably one of my favorite shades from this palette. It's just a basic, like, creamy white color, but it's a matte shade with just a slight, like, sheen to it. It's so pretty. There's no glitter and no shimmer whatsoever. It just sort of has this glowy sheen to it. I'm not too sure how exactly to explain it because it's matte. It just sort of reminds me of the NYX Nude Matte Shadows, how they sort of just have a little bit of a glow to them. Sort of like this iridescence. They're just so pretty. So it really makes for just the perfect highlight shade. After I've done that, I'm going to move on to eyeliner. I'm going to run this Prunella Eye Kohl from MAC just on my upper lash line. I've talked about this eyeliner many times. I think it's just a gorgeous liner. So I'm just going to run this across my upper lash line. It's just a beautiful, like, alternative to a plain, you know, black liner. And it really complements this palette well because of, like, the plummy tones it has in it. I like to take just a little push liner brush. There's nothing on it, but just take this to smudge it out a little bit. And then next I'm going to take a little bit of the shade called Voulez-Vous, which is a dark purple. Kind of matches Prunella a little bit. My phone just went off, I'm sorry. But I'm just going to use this to sort of set the Prunella eye kohl a bit, because if you don't set eye kohls, I find that they just tend to smudge and smear. So. The next thing I'm going to do is move on to mascara. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes Excess Mascara. I'm still trying this out, still sort of forming thoughts on it. I find this just one of those mascaras that you just really have to work with, which is the only thing that I don't like about it. The end effect and the end result can be really, really pretty. You can get really big, very dramatic lashes out of this. You just sort of have to work with it a little bit more than I guess I'm used to with some of my other mascaras. And since I've had this mascara for a few days, the formula has been able to dry out a little bit, and I think that's really helped it with the clumping issue, because at first it was very, very clumpy. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go in with my Kat Von D concealer, which I have on the back of my hand here, and the Ecotools Airbrush Concealer Brush, which is awesome. I've been really, really liking this. This stuff you just need a tiny little amount. And I'm applying this underneath my eyes. This brush just allows you to get so much more pigmentation out of your concealer because you're not having to use your fingers to wipe away the product. You know, all the product that you use gets distributed to the area that you're wanting to conceal. Plus, this brush is just so soft and really does feel nice and gentle underneath your eyes. For foundation today, I'm using the Bare Minerals Matte Foundation. This is in the shade Fairly Light. And I'm going to take this on my e.l.f. powder brush. And now that my foundation's done and my concealers are done underneath my eyes and stuff, I'm going to finish off my eyes by taking my L'Oreal Carbon Black Extra Intense Liquid Eyeliner Pencil. And I'm applying this to my tight line. I'm also going to take this onto my waterline. And then going back into the Boudoir Eyes palette, I'm going to take Valley View again onto a really, really small little pencil brush. Take this underneath. Alrighty, then I'm going to take a little bit of the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara onto my bottom lashes since it's my favorite bottom lash mascara. Now it's just time to bronze up the face. I'm going to use my Sonia Kashuk Multitasker Brush in the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Blush and Bronzer Duo in, I think it's like Soft Ginger, something like that. I'm going to take the bronzer side. And then for my blush, you guys probably guessed it, Rimmel Santa Rose. Such a pretty, pretty blush. And I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush for this. Alright, now for my brows, I've actually switched up my routine a little bit. I now use just a little angled brush. This is from Crown Brush, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Shape. This is in the shade Deep Brown. My problem with this is that you can't really get a nice looking brow with like an eyeliner looking pencil like this. I find that it doesn't give you as much control. Your edges just aren't as sharp. So I like to just take this with an angled brush, and then once I have product on there, I just apply this to my brows using the angled brush, which gives you just, like I said, a little bit more control. It helps you to make your edges that much more crisp and clean looking. This product, though, is really, really amazing. It's very waxy, so it helps to keep your brows in shape. And if you have troubles with your brows like mine, tend to just go every which direction if I don't set them, this really helps with that. Kind of keeps your brows looking nice and clean all day. I really like the color too. It's just sort of sheer but really pretty and really helps to fill in your brows a little bit. And then I still do go into my Anastasia brow powder, and I use the lightest one in here. And it's the same MAC 266 brush. I just don't use as much. So with this, I just barely tap it into the brow powder duo, and then just use it to set it a little bit and go over some of the spots that are a little bit more sparse than others. And then I take the Prestige Brow Gel. And I use this now to set my brows. I think it works a little bit better than the Maybelline clear mascara that I used to use. And then for lips, just a little bit of Maybelline's Mocha Mousse Color Whisper. And yeah, that is the completed look. I'm just going to take my hair down. I haven't straightened it. In all my videos, my hair always looks so messy because I tend to film before I do my hair, and I don't know why I do that. But I do that, and then my hair just looks really, really messy, and I'm like, oh, it looks terrible. But I've never had any complaints, so I'm not really going to change it, I don't think. Alrighty, so that is the completed look. I'm going to zoom you guys up on the eyes so you can get a better look at what we got going on there. Alrighty, so there's the eye makeup, a little bit closer up. What I would do on a day-to-day basis, sort of taupey, plummy, slightly smoky, but not too dramatic, and kind of darker on the lower lash line. A typical Kylie look, in other words. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me video. Let me know if you're going to try out this look or try out a look similar to this. Yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. I'm doing good. I'm going to do a video.